Hi and welcome to Sam and Kev's Outdoor Adventures. I'm Kev and today Sam and I are in the Richmond Ranges.
And I am Sam, and we're making our way up towards Mount Fell Hut, and then we're also going to go and check out the site of the Kareru plane crash.
I hope you enjoy the video and find it informative.
Yeah, so walking for about just over an hour. We've probably covered a couple of kilometres, still following the river valley up Tim's Creek is what it's called. There's a couple of little sections where there's been big slips, so we've had to sidle quite high to get over them and come down the other side, but they're all marked. So far so good. Okay, so we've been going for just over 2 hours, probably nearly 4 k's in. We've just crossed what we believe is the last creek crossing, and now it's pretty much vertical climbing from here on in. So it looks like it's about 900 to 1,000 meters vertical we've got from here to the hut. So the effort is about to start.
So we're about 3 hours in. We're probably about halfway in terms of vertical meters up the climb, heading along up the ridge, and we've probably got another 2 hours to go until we get up to close to Mount Fell Hut.
So just when you thought you were getting a bit of a break from the steep stuff, kind of look ahead and see what's ahead of you. Bit hard to see on the camera, but that is straight up. How's it going, Kev?
Oh, first couple of meters were good. I'm not sure about the next 40 or 50.
Straight up, eh?
Piece of cake.
Okay, so 4 hours in, and we are still going uphill. Pretty relentless, but I think looking at the topo map, we've got about 150 meters vertically to go, thereabouts. So we're going to get up there, have a bit of lunch, and then try and sidle on through to the hut. Let's get going. So just under 6 hours and we're just coming up on Mount Fell Hut. Alright, to Mount Fell Hut. And let's take a look. So we've got the 6 bunks in there. Very, very clean and tidy hut. Nice bench. Nice wee small enclosed fireplace. We'll come and have a quick wee look out the window and check out the view. Look at that. Okay, so we're just walking up from Mount Fell Hut. Behind me in the distance, you can see Johnston Peak. So that is the site of the Kareru plane crash from 1942. There is apparently a plaque and some debris that we're going to go and see if we can find, and we're going to make our way up there now.
So behind me is Johnston Peak, named after the pilot who was in charge of the aeroplane that unfortunately crashed. We're going to try and make our way down the slope and see if we can find the monument. It might take a bit of searching, but it's still much better weather than when the searchers were here originally in 1942, where it took them 5 days to be able to locate the wreckage. They are hampered as well, not only by the weather, but also the fact that they're in the mineral belt that sits through here, so the army radios that were provided for them wouldn't work, and instead they had to send carrier pigeons that they'd carried back with them that flew back to Nelson with messages of what they'd found. So we're slowly finding small scattered bits of wreckage that have been spread across the hill. This bit looks like a side panel from the wall or something like that.
So quite a large section of it's either sidewalling here off the plain. Geez, there's not much left of it, but there's a few bits and pieces scattered around here. Okay, so how long have we been going, Kev?
11 hours 15 since we started this morning.
So from Mount Fell Hut, where it's been a big day coming up into Johnston Peak, trying to find the plane crash area and debris. We found most of it, probably not all of it, but it's all going to be in that area. But we're running out of daylight, so we're on our way back to the hut now. Hopefully going to make it just in time. I think the sun has got about half an hour left.
So this is a little bit of an insert from day 2. I guess our day 1 search for the aeroplane memorial didn't go so well. One thing Sam and I should know, but we forgot, is whenever you go to a hut, always check the front of the hut book. It'll show lots of useful information like where a water source is, how to find the toilet, or in this case the location to the aeroplane memorial. So we spent a number of hours hunting around the side of Johnston Peak last night. We did find some wreckage, but not too much. But we have now made our way back down the track that we've come into, and we've come across probably about half an hour after we left the hut, the point where you should leave the track to head up to go and see the wreckage and the memorial. So it's marked by a little bit of a red cross, which you really can't see unless you're coming from the hut, but there's multiple red crosses, and there is a small bit of aeroplane wreckage sitting at the base of the tree as well.
Right, we're just making our way up from the bush line, from the track, just in a beeline straight up, just to find a bit more of the wreckage that we couldn't find yesterday. But just I'm just going to turn this camera around, and you can see really Johnston Peak and Richmond Saddle, and it's just, the camera doesn't necessarily show it, but it's just a big bank of mountain. You know, the plane unfortunately just had no chance.
So this is probably the largest piece of wreckage that we've come across, sitting down beneath about the pass that leads over to Mount Richmond.
So if you do come looking for the airplane crash site, you'll be doing a lot of this, a lot of rock hopping, which is what I'm doing now, and you'll see in the distance there another big section of the plane. There's quite a few of these scattered around. So we located the propeller. So this here, there's a lot of bits of twisted metal here, but I think that's the landing gear. So we found the memorial plaque with a piece of nose cone embedded into the rock. This is the point of impact, so it's the site of, you know, extreme tragedy. The names on the plaque: Keith Johnson, the pilot; William Smiley, the co-pilot; Pamela Fell, passenger; William Moore, and Amy Farrer.
So the memorial plaque itself is quite hard to see. I'm standing currently by where you can see the landing gear, and if you look almost directly up from where you're standing, it sits up there on that second cliff face. We'll take a close-up photo, and you can see it if you know what you're looking for. If you wish to visit the site of the wreckage yourself, this is easiest to access it from the Timms Creek track at point 1.
This is marked by a small bit of wreckage that is leaning up against the trunk of a tree. The first large bit of wreckage you'll come to is at point 2. If you head directly up from this, you'll find the small pieces that we found on day 1. Just keep in mind that these are quite hard to find and often located behind boulders or under small bits of shrub. The main wreckage site is found at point 3. The lowest down of these is a large piece of fuselage, and spread within the vicinity of about 50 metres directly above the fuselage is where the landing gear is, and from the fuselage up and to your right you'll find the location of the propeller. Lastly, at point 4 is the site of the memorial. This is probably easiest located by heading out to the left to get above the first rock face and then coming back to your right, and then you'll get to the memorial.
Right, so this wraps up our tramp to Mount Fell Hut and the Kareru plane crash site. It's always a bit bittersweet when you're visiting a site like the plane crash. There's a range of emotions, but we felt it was important to show where it is and just to document a bit for historical purposes.
So I hope you've enjoyed the video and learning a little bit about some of the tragedies, I guess, in New Zealand's aviation history. And hopefully Sam and I will see you next time we're out tramping.